The glass held its breath. I knew that because I was standing inside Margaux Sterling's corner office, 42 floors above the city, with my camera bag near the door and a wall of glass turning the skyline into amber and white. She hadn't offered me a seat. She hadn't offered me a smile. Only the back of her charcoal blazer, the straight line of her spine, and a warning. "If Vittoria sent you here to expose me, Miss Voss," she said, voice low and unhurried, "you should know I do not intend to be seen." My thumb found the shutter dial by instinct. "Vittoria didn't send me to expose you," I said. "She commissioned a portrait series. Power in profile." Her words, not mine. Vittoria's words are never just words. 4 days earlier, I had been inside Vittoria Ashford's townhouse in Beacon Hill, watching her pour scotch into crystal like she was preparing a spell. She told me the project would last 6 months. 6 powerful women, 6 private portraits. A book at the end, if I was good enough. The first subject was Margaux Sterling. Everyone knew Margaux. CEO of Ashdown Capital. Divorced, feared. Photographed only when every angle, every light, every millimeter of her image had been approved. "Margaux doesn't let anyone photograph her," I said. "She owes me a favor," Vittoria answered, "and I'm calling it in." That was the first time I should have been worried. But Vittoria smiled like she already knew the ending. "When Margaux lets her guard down," she said as I was leaving, "and she will, you'll be tempted to look away. Don't." Thursday night, 9:17 p.m. Ashdown Capital's lobby was black granite and quiet authority. The security guard checked my name, handed me a badge, and directed me to the private elevator. The rules had arrived earlier by email. No assistants, no strobes, no documents, no screens, no photographs of Margaux's hands below the wrist. Control. The elevator opened onto the 42nd floor. A silent assistant led me down a corridor to a corner office with the door half open, then disappeared. Inside, the room was too perfect. Pale oak desk, leather chairs at exact angles. No personal photographs, no books. No proof that a human being lived behind the title. I set up near the window and attached my 85mm lens. Then, the door closed behind me. "Miss Voss." I turned. Margaux Sterling was taller than I expected, with dark hair pulled back in a low knot, a charcoal suit cut sharp at the shoulders, and gray eyes that made my chest tighten. "Thank you for agreeing to this," I said. "I didn't agree," I conceded. She walked past me to the glass wall, and the city moved across her face. "How long have you worked for Vittoria?" she asked. 3 years. "And how many of her projects have turned out to be exactly what they seemed?" I hesitated. "None." "Exactly." She turned toward the window. "Vittoria doesn't commission art. She commissions leverage. She collects secrets, and she is very good at extracting them through other people. You think I'm here for that? I think you are a photographer with a reputation for seeing things people don't want seen." I lifted the camera slowly. "May I take a test shot?" Margaux blinked, then nodded. "Where do you want me?" "By the window," I said, "where the light is honest." Through the viewfinder, Margaux became a composition of shadow and glass. Gray eyes, gray suit, gray skyline, and one thin line of amber light across her cheekbone. Click. She flinched. It was tiny, but I caught it. "The sound," she said. "I can switch to silent shutter." "No, I'll adjust. Continue." I took 3 more frames. 4, 5. She stood perfectly still, chin lifted, gaze fixed somewhere over my shoulder. It was elegant. It was controlled. It was also false. You're giving me the fortune pose, I said, lowering the camera. Her mouth tightened. That is how I prefer to be photographed. That's how you prefer to be seen. It's not the same thing. For the first time, something flickered across her face. Not anger, something older. I stepped closer, not close enough to touch, but close enough to catch her perfume. Vetiver, oak moss, something green and expensive. You're giving me a mask, I said. I can take beautiful photographs of a mask, but if that's all this is, we're wasting both our time. What do you want from me? The question was quieter than I expected. I want you to stop protecting yourself. Just for an hour. Just in this room. Her throat moved. You don't understand what you're asking. Then explain it to me. She looked at me then, really looked, and I realized her eyes were not cold. They were exhausted. I spent 23 years building this company, she said. And every time a woman like me refuses to smile, they call her icy, difficult, unapproachable. So I controlled every photograph, every angle, every frame. Because the moment I lose control of my image, someone else will use it against me. I lifted the camera. Then don't lose control, I said. Give it to me instead. Her eyes widened for one heartbeat. Click. The frame was different. I knew it before I checked the screen. Her lips were parted. Her posture had loosened. For one brief second, Margaux Sterling was not a fortress with cheekbones. She was human. She was breakable. She was beautiful. Let me see it, she said. I turned the LCD toward her. She stepped closer, so close her shoulder almost brushed mine. The air between us warmed by 2 degrees. Delete it. No. She turned her head, and suddenly our faces were too close for the word professional. You work for me, she said. Delete the photograph. And if I don't? The question hung there. Her lips parted, closed, parted again. Then she stepped back and smoothed the front of her blazer. You're very good at your job, she said. I know. And insufferably confident. Also true. For a moment, her mask shifted. It did not fall, but it tilted enough for me to glimpse something underneath. One more session, she said. You want me to come back? Friday, same time. Then she wrote something on a small card and handed it to me. Margaux Sterling. Private line. A phone number. If you have questions about Friday, she said, use that. Not my assistant. Mine. At the door, she stopped me. The photograph I asked you to delete, she said. Keep it. Don't show anyone. Don't publish it. But keep it. Why? She gave me a small private smile and closed the door. Outside, the night was cold. My phone buzzed. Vittoria. How did it go? I typed. She agreed to a second session. Of course she has. You're my favorite investment, Dahlia. I looked up at Ashdown Capital blazing above me and felt the note in my pocket burning like a match. I had stepped into something much bigger than a portrait.